It is the middle of the night-ish, early morning. I went to sleep at 9. That helps. I woke up and gave time to my body to be heard. I thought about all this stuff that I'm doing and expressing, and sometimes it can feel really stupid and really like it's just saying nothing and standing in one place. And I remembered that oftentimes it's the time that you spend with yourself and self-nurturing that then translates into a more healthy and useful and just an expression in the world that shows up in a way that resonates with people and in a way that doesn't feel stupid. But a lot of what I'm doing here is the expression of the internal. Some of what I found myself doing is love just when I was in the middle of divorce and shortly after, there was this concept that my friends and family would note of like the idea of being married to yourself. Where sometimes I was like, I just want to be alone, and how do you, express that to, like, if someone's interested, you can, because if you're single, suddenly you're fair game kind of thing. And there was this idea of, you have to love yourself before learning to be loved by others or love others. And this idea of being my own partner until that feels like integrated enough that it makes sense to meet someone. So I thought, if you lean into this being married to yourself thing, I gave a few things a little bit of time, but some of where that went was to this moment of just like a couple, you don't show all of your affection in public and all the time that you spend together supporting each other. That doesn't mean anything to anyone else except for that unit, that family unit. And so it was nice to give time to just breathing with myself and with my body, and anything that came up, it was this intuitive feeling of like, I love you. It's okay to, whatever you're feeling, this is the space for it. And just to sit with that and to breathe that in. And that moved in different ways where sometimes it would be visualizing just another me in front of me. Sometimes it was holding myself, and sometimes that would dissipate into it being the whole world is the you that I love, is what me is part of. I've been hearing from different places that concept that each expression and each person and each everything is like waves in an ocean. No wave is unwelcome in an ocean. And there are no waves that are partitioned out. They come up and they express and they come back down. And some of them are just small ripples, and some of them are huge crashing waves. And no one's showing off in front of anyone else. They're all just expressions. And none of them really exist because all of it is energy moving through. So it was nice to sit with that and embrace that more. Of being, allowing space for the smallest and the largest feeling and expression in my body and my mind. I came upstairs and I stood up the Christmas tree and I strung it with lights, but the ornaments are still kind of in process. And they're just sitting, like maybe a few of them are on the tree and a few of them are off. And I was putting some of them on, I don't know, a couple of days ago. And just finding less joy and meaning in it I thought this year, but just now looking at it with a couple of ornaments on there, maybe half of the ones I have, just remembering the dimension, like as I walk around the tree, the more is on it, the more it defines the dimension of it. And I remembered the joy that I have felt in the past looking at the tree with ornaments on it. And I was like, this might be a nice thing to honor, that I could hang a few more ornaments until I'm called to go back to bed. And I also remembered that I forgot to light the menorah yesterday. It was the 6th night. Well, yesterday, before going to sleep. So I thought it's still nighttime. So I lit the menorah, and I have family that they light the menorah, but they don't say the prayers because they want the tradition, but I guess I'm figuring the weight of religion, it's done too much damage in their life or something. They have a bad association with it, so they don't do the prayers. And for me, the prayers are a way to connect I kind of integrate God as, the everything. So I'm just connecting to however I have that energy, and I bring it. It's a somatic experience of breath. Um, so that was nice to sit with that and stand with that. Um, and then just staring at the candles, I found myself doing that more, like doing that, sitting with them today. And um, some of the other kind of visualizations and analogies that I've heard is um, just remembering that our bodies and our lives are not an object, it is more like a process. And so, just like the candles for a moment looked perfectly still, lit and still, and it allowed me to sit with them in stillness, but also to remember that it's a process. A flame is a constant destruction of something. And when you have a flame that's still, it's kind of an amazing thing to consider. Um, that the essence of something is to be destroyed, but it is also like you can think of it in a different way, where it's, of course, changing form from this solid thing that I see into expression and energy into the air, fumes. Um, so looking at these candles standing together and burning, I thought of all the people in the world and beings in the world kind of being together and burning together to manifest what is life and what is the world. Um, and I looked back at the tree and I thought, you know, it might, I can really honor a joyous kind of exercise of hanging up more ornaments and maybe hanging up the rest of what I have there to really, because right now the tree is in limbo. It's like, what are we doing? To really fully enjoy and honor it. I've just been so here and there and tired and, you know, changing and sometimes giving myself time and sometimes totally not. And I thought that about this video too. Each time I'm like, am I still doing this? And I thought, it popped into my head and it's okay to hang this ornament and add dimension to one more expression, add one more expression here. And this can still be all very embarrassing. I did a sound check on Facebook for a moment. So for a second, I had a video hanging out on Facebook where, like, people know me. They might tap into all these videos and be like, "What is she doing?" uh, and that's okay. It's nice to have moments like these, and a night where I don't feel like I'll be sleep deprived if I just give time to what my mind and my body are doing.